Hello everyone. Welcome back to Placement Buddies. Let me welcome you all to another episode of Let's Hear from the Experienced. And today, in order to share her interview experience with L&T, we have Sreelakshmy with us. Hello, Sreelakshmy. Welcome to Placement Buddies.
Hi, Saleh.
Yeah, how are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fine too. So, Sreelakshmy, before proceeding further, tell us something about yourself.
Okay, so I'm a mechanical engineering student. I'm about to finish my degree from Vellore Institute of Technology.
Okay.
I got placed with L&T last November as a GET at L&T Construction, and I'm waiting for the location and all the specific details about it.
Okay. So, when did L&T came to your campus and what was the selection procedure basically?
Guys, before we move ahead, you might not know that many of you, about 93% of you, do not subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to our channel, turn on the notifications, do press the bell icon. I request you all. Now let's continue.
So we had, they came in October, towards the second week of October probably, and the criteria was actually pretty strict because L&T focuses a lot on your CGPA. So we were allowed to apply, only the top 25 or top 50 students from a branch were allowed to apply for the exam. So that was the main criteria for selection, and no history of backlogs as such. So after that, we had our exam towards the end of October.
Okay. So, talking about the online test, basically, what was the online test platform and what were the specifications in that?
So the online test platform was their own platform, L&T EduTech portal. So first we had to submit our profile details, everything in that platform, and then we had a mock test also to check if our system is compatible and all those details.
Okay.
After that, we had our exam. Pattern was basically we had aptitude, logical reasoning, and then verbal ability, and then a set of technical questions. So if my memory is right, we had 45 minutes for attempting verbal, aptitude, and reasoning, all three together, and 45 minutes separately for just the technical questions.
All right. So, Srilakshmi, what was your strategy for the online test, for cracking the online test questions? How did you prepare your aptitude, verbal, logical, and technical questions?
So aptitude part, I started preparing very early on, like around July or August, I had started preparing because our placement season started then. So I decided to prepare early on and keep ready because core companies usually come towards the end. So
Correct.
It's always better to be prepared ahead. So, and we had IT companies coming during that time. So I kept applying, we gave a lot of tests. So it was extensive thorough practice for aptitude. So by the time L&T test came, I was already clear with all the aptitude parts. I mainly prepared aptitude from YouTube channels for clearing the concepts, and for tougher level of questions, I referred to CAT exam preparation books. They had very tough level of questions when it comes to reasoning part and all that. So I used those. Then for technical, so L&T came during our 7th semester. So just before that, I had already finished several core subjects. Like strength of materials, mechanics of machines, I had just finished those. Okay. So the concepts were pretty fresh in my memory. So all I did was I referred India Bix. There we have all topics separated, all core subjects. So I prepared using those. There were lots of questions in that. So I just refreshed all the questions and concepts. And technical questions in the exam, they were not very tough level of questions. We had both numerical and theory.
Correct.
And numerical questions, basically, if you know the concepts, you can attempt those. They're not very lengthy.
Correct.
Although the exam itself is lengthy, but the numerical questions are very short. And if you remember the concept and the particular formula, then you will be able to solve it fast. So that is how I prepared technical questions.
Right. And among the technical part, what were the subjects you were basically targeting from mechanical engineering?
So basically, I prepared thermodynamics, thermal engineering, heat transfer, mechanics, and strength of materials. These are some subjects that I focused on. And for the exam, we had questions from strength of materials, like from the beams topic, because beams is a topic where you have formulas. We have a set of formulas. You just have to directly apply it to find the answer. So there were questions from that. Then there were questions from thermodynamics. So thermodynamics is also another common topic where you can get a lot of questions from. And it's a basic subject. So I prepared all those clearly. So it was good.
So Srilakshmi, any particular sources of your preparation, any particular YouTube channel which you used to follow, or any textbooks or anything?
For aptitude, the YouTube channel I refer to was Feel Free to Learn. What I felt that was the videos were given in a very systematic manner and increasing order of difficulty. So by the time you finish a topic, you are totally thorough with it.
Okay.
And then for technical part, I referred India Bix, and then our course material itself were sufficient enough to cover everything for me.
Correct. So once the online test was over, you got shortlisted for the interviews. So how was the interview all about? Was it technical or technical plus HR?
So interview, first of all, what I liked was it was a very comfortable atmosphere.
Yeah.
The interviewer was very comfortable and it was not stressful at all for me. And that itself was a relief. So I was able to perform pretty well. I had one interviewer for both technical and HR part.
Okay.
First, we started off with introduction, and then we had a technical question. So I think it varies depending on your interviewer, how they pose the questions to you. So we have questions from thermodynamics. Again, it's a topic that is frequented when it comes to questions. And my question was from thermodynamics, but then we have people who have questions from strength of materials or mechanics. These are all common topics. Then I had HR, but we were told previously that there would be an extempo round for our interview.
Okay.
So we were given. My interviewer told me gave me two questions, and he told me to choose one and speak on that. So I thought this was an HR question, because the question was something like, why do you want to join L&T? And then there was one more question, which I don't remember.
Okay.
So I thought this was an HR question. So I started answering immediately. Halfway through, I realized that, okay, this was the extempo round. So I should have taken a bit of time to prepare. So it was a bit difficult because I had to keep building content until the time duration, at least 1 minute we have to speak on the topic. Right? So. Yeah. And then we have some mandatory questions also during the interview. Like they'll ask if you're ready to relocate or what all languages you know. So such mandatory questions. Other than that, that was it.
Okay. So talking about the subjects, like as you mentioned, there was thermodynamics questions, talking about strength of materials or any other particular subjects. What are the particular topics which mechanical students can target basically for L&T or any other core interview?
So first of all, I think it depends on the company that you're applying to. So when it comes to L&T, we had L&T Construction. So I think your focus should be mainly on subjects that are related to construction or such things. So basically, related to construction, we will have thermodynamics is not really that much of an important subject when it comes to that particular field. So we will have strength of materials, which is very important. Then mechanics of machines is also important to some extent. So these are two subjects that you should focus when it comes to a construction type of company. But other than that, for mechanical engineering students, I think you need to focus, or heat transfer is an important subject. Thermal engineering is important. And for mechanical students, we also get many energy related companies.
Yeah.
Because that is a very growing sector right now. So you need to focus on me. Basically, I took a lot of electives related to energy, like alternative fuels, renewable sources of energy. These are all subjects that I enjoy learning. So these will be helpful if your goal in the future is to go for a company that is working in the energy sector.
Correct. So once the interview was completed, how long they took for announcing your results, and what was your feeling when you heard that you were selected for L&T Construction?
After the interview, within a week we got the results. I think maximum 1 week we got the results. Of course, I was really happy because we've been waiting so long. Like we're applying for companies, and when you finally get placed, it's a very great feeling. It's difficult to express it in words. So, and my name was at the bottom of the list, so I was searching, and then it's there at the last. So that's a different thing.
And 2 years down the line, when you were in second year or say first year, and when did you made up your mind for going for the core sector? Because as I know that in campus companies recruiting for IT profile are way more than the ones of core profile. So when have you made up your mind that you want to go for core companies, and how did you started your preparation back then?
So my preparation, basically, I was not interested in the IT sector. It is not really, I don't think it's my cup of tea. As an engineering student, we all learn computer science courses. We have to study that.
Correct.
We are studying it as a part of our curriculum, but I tried studying it, but I am really not good at it. Whether it is coding or all of that, it's not something that I'm good at. So by then I had made up my mind that I was not going to work in the IT sector, because I believe that we should be doing something that we feel we are good at.
Correct.
You need to have that confidence from within you. So IT sector I had ruled out by the end of second year itself, because that's when we finished all the computer courses. So then our option left is preparing for core companies. So in the third year itself, we have important core subjects coming up. So it was best to prepare the concepts thoroughly then itself, so that later on you don't have to work on it all over again. So I decided to go along with that. Like, when you have the subject, prepare it well and make notes so that we can refer to it later on.
Correct. So, Srilakshmi, before wrapping it up, any particular tips which you want to give to our juniors who are watching this video right now?
Of course. So my number one tip would be that during the 4 years you spend studying, do something that proves that you have added value to those 4 years. For example, do internships or work on good projects, or work on research publications, because when you go for an interview, your resume is what the interviewer is seeing. They do not have any idea about who you are, but they're looking at your resume. So you need to have something that is catchy in your resume to prove that you have done something worthwhile in these 4 years. So internships are a good way to do that, but we know that it's not easy to get industrial internships because you need to have lots of connections.
Correct.
And we just came out of the pandemic, so now everything is just coming back up. So I think the best way is during your 4 years you have lots of opportunities to do projects. We have subjects that have project components. So it's best to work on, instead of just glossing over the project, just trying to finish the subject, do something that is useful, that you can present and proudly speak about in the future. And always use opportunities with your professors, collaborate with them, work on research projects. It's all going to be valuable in the future because you're just gaining more learning opportunities.
Correct. That's it for today, guys. I hope Srilakshmi's interview experience has helped you all. Thank you, Srilakshmi, for joining Placement Buddies. I hope.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure.